common question that I get is, doctor, can I use melatonin supplements? It's vaguely rampant in US and also in India. It's over the counter. The biggest problem is it is not regulated. So nobody knows the dosage. Nobody knows how much to take. Your take on it from your medical standpoint.
So I think melatonin now is considered as a supplement, and overall the supplement industry is not regulated well.
Yes.
So it's unregulated. And we don't know many of the supplements. There's a problem with many of the supplements. And I think one of the best resources on the internet to use is examine.com, because it gives you very detailed information about each supplement. Of course, from manufacturer to manufacturer, there can be variations in quality. And I believe that there have been studies conducted on commercially available melatonin supplements in the US. And the claimed quantity of melatonin is very different from what is actually measured in them.
Yes.
So there's a wide disparity in the actual content and the mentioned dosage. That's one issue with melatonin supplements. Second issue with melatonin supplements, which I have, is that taking exogenous melatonin, which is from outside, is going to suppress your endogenous melatonin. And over a period of time, your endogenous melatonin is going to get completely suppressed.
Endogenous is the melatonin produced in your body naturally.
In your pineal gland. Yeah, as a relation to your circadian rhythm. Correct. Based on your light and dark cycles. I would not recommend using melatonin except during periods of change in time zone. So, for example, in your case, now when you're trying to get over jet lag, it can be used just for a short duration, just to stabilize your sleep cycle. But I would not recommend using it as a sleep aid, because that is ultimately going to be disruptive to your endogenous melatonin.
One thing I really absolutely hate is that looking into your phone and then taking melatonin 2 milligrams.
Paradoxical activities.
But I do take melatonin whenever there's a transatlantic flight.
Yeah, what's your experience with it?
I started with 1 milligrams. And similar to examine.com, there is a website in US as well, where you can check how quality it is.
Correct. Okay.
It is not regulated by FDA anyways, but at least that's the best that you could get in hormone supplements. So I started with 1 milligrams. Didn't do anything.
Yeah.
Didn't do anything. So then 2 milligrams. So what I do is I delay my circadian rhythm based on the country's timing a week before.
Correct.
So for example, when I'm coming to India, it's exactly 12 hours.
Yeah.
California is 12 p.m. Noon is midnight over here.
Yeah.
So it's very difficult. So I usually sleep around 10 o'clock, 10 p.m. at night. So I delay that. I delay by 12 p.m., 1 a.m. slowly. And then at the departure of the second flight, I take melatonin. So to a point, in a hope that I can catch up. But most of the times all this...
Yeah, well, there are a couple of things I found. I mean, this is just on a side note of jet lag and all. My son told me about this app called Time Shift.
Time Shift, yes.
So that tells you about how much light exposure to get and when to time your caffeine intake and when to have melatonin and when to try and nap based on where you're traveling.
Yes.
Very good. Yes. Very good app. And the other thing that one can do, of course, is taking melatonin at the bedtime of your destination city.
Correct.
So that's
what I do. So for example, usually the layover is in Europe.
Yeah. Right.
But by that time, it will be bedtime over here. So you take.
So when you get on your second flight, you take your melatonin.
Usually. Or if I'm going that way, Hong Kong, Singapore, so it's based on that as well. The other thing I do is I don't drink any coffee in the flight.
Right.
Of course, it's free alcohol. People stand in line. You don't know that. People stand in line. And
what's your opinion about caffeine and gut health? Do you have an opinion on that?
Yes, of course. Of course. Caffeine is actually good for gut health.
Polyphenols.
Polyphenols. And but the problem is the studies have been done on black coffee. Okay. What we do is not actually black coffee.
Yeah.
We do milk, we add sugar, and usually turns out to be a filter coffee. So the problem is excess consumption of filter coffee, where you add milk and sugar, adds up to your carb load, and that is where the problem is. In fact, there is good data. It shows that large amount of caffeine actually helps in liver disease as well.
Yes, I saw that. In fact, it helps with fatty liver.
Fatty liver.
Sorry.
I mean,
new name, Mafil D.
Even in, we're talking about preventing liver complications. In a fatty liver, drinking coffee,
preventing cirrhosis.
Cirrhosis. And,
I'm glad to hear that. Although I don't have any liver issues so far, I'm a big fan of coffee.
Yeah. So again, the problem comes with, as you know, black coffee doesn't have any calories.
Yeah.
Filter coffee has 150 calories. Let's say we're talking about 6 cups. We're talking about like 700, 800 calories.
Yeah, so stick with espresso shots and black coffee.
And then I am a strong believer that not anything after 3 p.m.